that is my trick on stretch marks. Hello, happy Mother's Day. Welcome back to the vlog. In honor of Mother's Day, I am covering everything regarding my first pregnancy. I'll be answering all of the questions I ever received during my pregnancy, and I'm pretty sure your answers are here. Let's get started. This was my first pregnancy. I am a boy mom of one, and he is now 4 months old. He's like 4 months going on like a year, because the way he's growing and developing so quick is amazing. I love it. It's literally insane how quick they grow before your eyes. But yeah, he's like wearing 9-month-old clothing right now, which is crazy. And he just wants to advance so fast. Like, slow down, baby, slow down. But anywho, let's start. So I found out I was pregnant when I was 4 weeks pregnant. It's crazy because I happened to find out a week after my birthday. So, you know, just imagine when you celebrate your birthday, you're drinking, you're doing this, you're doing that. I had went to the Bad Bunny concert. I don't know if you guys remember my reels from the Bad Bunny concert outfit. And I did not know I was pregnant. I was partying it up. No idea that I was pregnant. Then I had brunch on Sunday. I was taking shots back to back. Did not know I was pregnant until that week after. I was like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. I was in denial for a really long time, for like a week and a half or so. And so in denial, but also I was waiting for longer for my period to come. I was given it time because, as you know, if you are a female watching this, you know that your cycle changes often, and well, mine's was at the time changing often, and I would be a few days late and then everything will be fine. But this time around, I was like, you know what? Let me just take this test. I took the test, and lo and behold, I was pregnant indeed. I was going crazy. I was like, oh my God. I was just drinking. I was celebrating my birthday. I was out and about. Oh my God, what's going to happen? What does this mean? How is this going to affect me? Listen, the amount of times this has happened is basically countless at this point. And so many babies have been born perfectly fine. And as you saw and as you've seen, my baby is perfectly fine. So, I mean, it's natural to feel that concern after having nights of drinking, realizing then that you're pregnant. But if that happens to you, as long as you don't continue drinking after you find out you're pregnant, then you should be okay. So, yes, I found out when I was 4 weeks, the moment, literally, the moment I found out, I literally rubbed my entire body in oil, because my biggest fear has always been getting stretch marks. I know this is so vain, but that literally has been my biggest fear about pregnancy my entire life. And so I literally bathed myself in oil and butter, cocoa butter, literally every single day from that moment on. And I'm going to show you which ones I used. So I used the Hatch body oil. And I also used bio oil, and I used cocoa butter. I rotated those items. When I didn't have the Hatch oil, I used the bio oil with the cocoa butter. And when I had the hatch oil, then I used that with the cocoa butter. Now, if you begin to itch, OMG, thank God I asked my doctor about this because I was itching so bad one time and I scratched like out of instinct. Oh my God, I was so scared. And I asked my doctor, what do I do? I'm itching and I don't want to scratch. She prescribed cortisone. Oh my God, that was like the best idea ever. So I highly suggest you use cortisone if you begin to itch to prevent you from scratching and developing stretch marks. So that is my trick on stretch marks. Let's move on. So let's see what else we have here. Symptoms, pregnancy symptoms. Whew. Okay. If it wasn't for me taking a test, I wouldn't have known that I was pregnant. And that is because up until the very ending of my first trimester, I didn't feel any symptoms at all. I was perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, after the brunch we had for my birthday, which was on a Sunday, I went to work just like nothing the next day. Until the very end of my first trimester. Like, I'm going to say the second to third month of being pregnant, oh my gosh, I began developing metallic mouth. I have never heard of something like that. And until that time, it was so bad. It just felt like you had a whole bunch of coins, like pennies, in your stomach, and the taste of it was just like coming up. That was like the worst. So after I went to my doctor's appointment, I asked about that and she recommended vitamin B12. That did help. So I used that. But I felt like it was so strong that even though it helped for the most part, there was still some residue there. So I had to just let that pass. And that was like probably the worst time ever. At that point, I was craving a lot of like bitter stuff. I was eating a lot of limes and lemons, a lot of like sour things, pineapples, anything that had like a sour aftertaste. That's what I was craving and what I felt like would kind of like eliminate that taste a little bit. I even got like lemon popsicles. Those were actually really good. Oh my God. I had to have one like all the time because it would just like make me feel better. And then I turned to prenatals. That's a whole other topic. But wait, before we get on prenatals, let me finish with the symptoms. Actually, no. Let me tell you about the prenatals because that's part of the reason why I got on this prenatal specifically. So during that first trimester that I was feeling that symptom of like metallic mouth, it was just gross. I turned to the prenatal Patel. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. But yeah, I was using that prenatal. And let me tell you, the moment that I ingested the first pack, it was like I felt in heaven. I was like, oh my God, all my symptoms are gone. I feel so much better. Perfect. Awesome. But let me tell you, I literally could not take it after, I'm going to say 3-4 weeks of taking this prenatal. I couldn't ingest it anymore. It started to make me feel very, very nauseous. Even before ingesting it, because of the smell of it, it just smelled like very like a lot of minerals and all the vitamins. It was just like super like, oh my gosh. Even thinking about it makes me cringe. But I had to stop taking those prenatals, and I was on the hunt for another. And then I found Ritual. I started with Ritual, which at the time also made me feel better. And then I had to end up stopping it as well, because eventually, as I kept taking it, I would like throughout the day after taking it, I will like burp and it would taste like the minerals and it will make me so nauseous for the entire day. Like it would just ruin my entire like appetite. It was just horrible. And that was like I think the second trimester. During the second trimester, I stopped. I started ritual and I stopped towards the end of it, towards the middle end of the second trimester. And then I stopped prenatals altogether. I did not do prenatals. I did not take prenatals throughout my entire pregnancy. I did not. I also did not work out throughout my entire pregnancy. I did not. There's so many things that people tell you that you should do, but listen, you have to listen to your body, and some things you just not gonna do, and it's gonna be okay. It'll be okay. You don't have to do all these things that everybody else is doing because you see it on Instagram or because they say it's good for you or best for you or best for the baby. As long as you're eating healthy, your baby will be fine. So that was one thing. I was craving very, very healthy foods. But before we go to that, let's continue with the symptoms. First trimester symptoms was bitter metallic mouth. I was eating a lot of sour foods. Then it turned to I was really only eating like chicken. I was only eating like chicken. The entire rest of my pregnancy, I had acid reflux, and it was literally the worst. I had a lot of heartburn and a lot of acid reflux. And so I couldn't eat a lot of the foods, a lot of like the junk foods, basically. I couldn't eat anything fried. I couldn't eat anything too late at night. I couldn't eat anything with too much sauce. Like pasta would, oh my God, not make me feel good. I couldn't eat anything too oily. What else? I basically reserved to foods that were like steamed, pan-seared, baked. I couldn't do too much of the red meat. It was just too much. It caused me heartburn. It made me feel like indigestion. It just, yeah. It was difficult trying to find something to eat that I would actually enjoy because of those symptoms. And what else? I think as far as symptoms, that was basically it. I feel like my entire pregnancy, I was just feeling heartburn. Yeah. Heartburn after between the second and third trimester, that was basically it. Just a lot of heartburn. I had to watch what I was eating. So not only maybe because of that, I was craving the healthy foods. But to be honest, even before pregnancy, I eat pretty much clean. I love a lot of salmon. I was having a lot of salmon still. Oh my gosh. The salmon, I feel like, is what made my baby a baby genius. All those omega-3s he was having while in my belly did the just. Forget prenatals. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so I had a lot of salmon, a lot of salads. I was obsessed with like Caesar salads. What else? A lot of natural juices, like freshly squeezed, pressed juices. A little bit of like potatoes and sweet potatoes. I didn't crave anything sweet until the very end. OMG. I was eating pints of ice cream, like, and it had to be specifically pistachio. I was literally eating a whole pint in one sitting. That was a lot. Like, I don't know about you, but I've never done that before. I've never had that much craving for ice cream to eat in one sitting like that before. But yeah, that's what pregnancy will do to you. Let's go on to the next question. So we covered symptoms, the foods I ate, my activity level. I mentioned that I did not work out my entire pregnancy. So I actually stopped working out, I'm going to say by the time I was between 3 and 4 months pregnant. I just could not do it. I was exhausted. I felt like I couldn't move like I normally would. And I felt like I was just wasting my time. Like, even for Pilates, I had to stop in midway and I had to ask them to basically hold on to my all of the classes I had already purchased so that I can use it towards at the end of my pregnancy, after my pregnancy, I should say. Because I just couldn't. I felt like I was wasting my time. I asked the instructor to modify some of the movements and I just felt like it wasn't doing it for me. So I stopped working out at between 3 and 4 months pregnant. And I also didn't feel too bad about not working out because I was very active throughout my pregnancy. Like, I was still working full time. So I was working full time, was going to work every day. I worked through the summer while pregnant also. I then moved. So I helped with the moving, with the packing. Once we moved, I was building furniture, going up and down the stairs. I was very active. And let's not forget to mention my baby moon to Italy. Man, the amount of walking I did over there, I cannot even believe I did all of that while pregnant. Like, looking back, I cannot believe it. And to be honest, I feel like moving forward, my next pregnancy, I want to chill. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do anything. But yeah, I was very active. And for that reason, I didn't feel too bad that I stopped going to the gym. Let's move on to labor. You guys now know, if you've read my Instagram post, that my labor was not the ideal labor. It was not. And I could sit here and say that it was because I stopped working out, or I don't know. But to be honest, I feel like I don't think anything I didn't do or could have done would have made my labor different, if that makes sense. Let me explain. So, my problem during labor was that I was not dilating at all. I did not, I had to get an induction because towards the end of the pregnancy, I had not dilated anything at all. So as I was reaching my due date, my doctor recommended that I schedule an induction, especially because I was due right in the middle of the holidays. My due date was December 21st. So she said because it gets hectic and whatnot, she recommended that I schedule an induction just in case. So I did. The induction was originally scheduled for December 23rd, but then they called and asked to push it forward to December 25th. Imagine that. So I was admitted December 25th at 9 p.m. And they immediately started the process of inducing me. They first started with the balloon, and the balloon got me dilated up to 5 centimeters. And that took hours, by the way. I got the Pitocin. I started to feel a lot of contractions. I was getting through them, going to the bathroom, getting through them and all of that stuff, moving around, trying to, wait and see if I dilated more, and trying to delay when I got an epidural. Excuse me. So it happens that I did not dilate any further after hours and hours and hours on Pitocin. And it came to a point where they had to remove the balloon because the balloon only gets you so far, and Pitocin is supposed to take you the rest of the way. So Pitocin was not getting me the rest of the way. I was getting contractions, but I wasn't dilating. And then my baby's heart rate began to decrease. And so at that point, I had to make a decision whether I go into opt for C-section or wait it out and see if I dilated any further with the Pitocin, which would put my baby at risk because his heart rate was already going down and would potentially lead me to having an emergency C-section. So regardless, it seemed like the answer was C-section. So I was just like, you know what, at that point, let's just do the C-section. Why put him through any more stress if it seems like the answer is going to come down to a C-section? So that's what we did, a C-section. And I was torn. I was torn literally, physically, and emotionally. I was torn because I just did not understand why my body was not doing what it was supposed to do as far as dilating. Didn't understand that. So yeah, it was an emotional roller coaster to say the least. But we got through it. He's here, healthy. I'm here, healthy. And hopefully the next one, I don't even know. I feel like the next one would also have to be a C-section because I got it the first time around. Even though I'm not sure about that because I do hear that you can go vaginal after having had a C-section the first time. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. For now, let's move on. Okay, 4th trimester, man. I am extremely grateful for my village and the people that were here helping me because let me tell you, I was a hot mess after labor. Like, I was so swollen, you guys would have not recognized me. Like, oh my gosh, my legs were huge. I couldn't bend my joints of how swollen I was. Just imagine that. Like, I literally had pitting edema. It was so bad. I could barely walk. I was using a walker while being at home. Getting from point A to point B took me forever because I just couldn't bend my joints to walk. I was that swollen. But thankfully, it's amazing how the body works, let me tell you. Oh my gosh, like pregnancy has changed my mindset all around. I lost all of that water weight within the week, all of it. And to the point where I was like, oh my God, I look anorexic now. Like I lost all of my muscle mass and I was devastated because as you guys know, if you are here from Instagram and you've been following me for a while, you know that I've been in the gym for a really long time. I've been a gym rat for years and it took me a long time to build this muscle mass, right? So for me to lose it in the blink of an eye, it was so frustrating, especially my calves. I was like, what happened to my legs? I don't have any muscle. But it's just a lot that you go through emotionally postpartum because of your body changing, because of, you having this new person to take care of, this new baby to take care of, societal expectations. It's just so many things. Marital expectations, not that I'm married, but I am in a relationship. I am with the father of my child. And, there are expectations, right? So sometimes not being able to meet those expectations and even expectations for yourself, like not that he was expecting or anybody was expecting so much of me, but I felt like I had those high expectations of myself. And a lot of times I am very hard on myself because I expect things to go and I want things to go in a specific way. And when it doesn't, I'm just like frustrated with myself because I feel like I've let myself down more than anything. But I learned to be patient and to be kind to myself and to just love myself through the process. And literally like patience and talking to myself about how things would get better is what helped me get through that 4th trimester. And now I am happier than ever with my baby boy, how far I've come, and just being able to get back to my typical routine has been the best thing ever. I literally cannot say anything less than that when it comes to that. Okay, breastfeeding. Yes, I breastfed, but does it count if you only breastfed for 2 weeks? I don't know. I only breastfed for 2 weeks. Let me tell you, breastfeeding is taxing on your body. Like, oh my God, like, I was already, oh my gosh, I cannot even speak about this because loss of words, about the experience. But I was already losing sleep, right? Like I was already not sleeping through the night because the baby was waking up through the night. So imagine having to wake up to breastfeed. Like yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. So I'm gonna give you a little TMI. During the fourth trimester, I'm gonna say the second week. Yeah, the second week of being home, I got extremely diarrhea. Like, oh my God, it was so bad. Extreme diarrhea. I couldn't eat anything without literally shitting my pants. Like, I don't know what happened or what it was or why this happened, but it was really bad to the point where I dried out. I wasn't producing any more milk. And I could have tried to like get back to producing more milk and, and by increasing my intake of water and liquid. But honestly, I was not interested. I just felt like I was already doing too much. My body was already doing too much and had gone through so much with the C-section that I was like, you know what? To ensure that he's feeding the amount that he's supposed to be feeding, I'm just gonna go ahead and go straight to formula. And that's what we did. And I don't regret it at all. Nope, not at all. To the point where, like, I even gave away my brand new pump, breast pump. Like, I made sure to get a really good one because I was anticipating going back to work and having to breastfeed at work. So I got the wireless electrical one. I got the bag for it and all. And I ended up just giving it away. Thank God that I had somebody to give it away to, because otherwise that would have been a waste of money. But yeah, breastfeeding only lasted 2 weeks and I have no regrets. To stay on the topic of feeding, let's go to the question about what I feed him, what formula I feed him. I'm currently still feeding him the same brand, Kendamil. But let me tell you, we started with the Kendamil Goats formula and we had to switch out of it. Yep, we had to switch out of it. It was, and I'm not sure if it was this, but my baby's mood was not, I was not okay with it. He just seems like he was straining all of the time. And like it just seemed like he was having a hard time going to the bathroom. And it was scary the way he would get. Like he would get super red, like a tomato, trying to push. It seemed like he was trying to push to go. And it was just unbearable to like watch and like watch him go through something like that. So we had to figure something out. And we switched after doing some research. Parrish, my boyfriend, did some research and it comes to find out that this has happened to other families because of the goat milk formula, and we decided to switch out. We tried the organic Kendamil. That's the brand. That's the brand of the formula that we're using is Kendamil. We tried the organic whole milk, and now we're on just the whole milk type, not organic, just the original whole milk Kendamil, and that is what he's on right now. and it's going great. Before we switched the formula, we switched the bottle thinking that maybe he was colic. So we switched from the Philips brand to the Dr. Brown's anti-colic bottle. Actually, let me show you because we have it here. Yeah. Okay, so we went from using these bottles right here to using these right here. So I just purchased the tall ones, a set of the tall ones and a set of the short ones. And I made sure to get them in glass. So yeah, after doing that, we noticed that there were some changes in him and his behavior, but still felt like it wasn't enough. So we were like, you know what? Let's just switch the formula altogether. And that's what we did. We are now using the whole milk Kendamil, which looks like this. And it's been going great. We haven't switched out of it since. Before using that, we tried so many things to try to make him feel better. We used the Mommy Bliss gas relief, which looks like this. I still have it just in case. But we used this, and let me tell you, this does work. I like this. This does work. For like last minute things, like if the baby seems fuzzy. Okay, so let's move on. While on the topic of feeding, let's address the topic of sleep training. If you are coming from Instagram, you saw that I recently completed sleep training, and you saw the method that I use. Preston used to wake up to feed. Again, he's 4 months now. He used to wake up to feed at least 3 times in the middle of the night. That's a lot. So imagine, I am still working, by the way. I am still working full time. So I was waking up 3 times for him to feed. The good thing is that he will go straight to sleep right away. Like, he was literally like sleep feeding. Like, he would whine and cry for a bottle. I'd give him the bottle and he continued sleeping and go back to sleep without a problem. But that would happen 3 times throughout the night, plus the feedings that he has throughout the day. So he was eating a lot. Up until recently, his doctor was like, you need to stop feeding him at night. He is at 101 percentile as far as weight. Which makes sense because he's wearing 9-month-old clothing. So we have to like cut it. So that's what basically forced my hand to sleep train him, because honestly, I was not going to do it. I was being a wimp and I did not want to let him cry through the night. Also, Preston's cry is intense. Like, he cries like somebody's doing something to him. I don't know if all babies are like this, but to me, that's a lot, the way he cries. And so we decided to do the extinction method sleep training, which is the cry out method. And to be honest, it worked immediately. Like, I am still keeping my eyes open, making sure that things don't change around, because how quickly it happened, I'm like shocked. By the second night of, actually, no, I'm sorry, by the third night. So on the third night of sleep training, he slept through the night. He slept in 9 hours. I was like, huh? Because I was expecting, typically they say that it takes between 3 and 4 sleep training nights for your baby to sleep through the night. And so the third night, I wasn't expecting him to sleep through the night. I was expecting him to cry and, I would have to let him cry it out like I did the previous 2 nights. But yeah, no, he slept 9 hours that third night. On the second night, he even did a lot better than the first night, because on the second night, he only woke up once at 2 a.m. after having fell asleep at 8. and then woke up again at 6. So that was an improvement in itself. So yeah, very shocked with the extension method, and I would definitely recommend you use that if you are on the road to sleep training as well. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so we've covered symptoms, pregnancy symptoms. We've covered the foods I ate, my activity level. We've covered labor. We covered my fourth trimester, breastfeeding, feeding the baby, and sleep training. Now let's move on to my postpartum fitness journey. As you guys have been keeping up, I believe, if you're coming from Instagram, I have been back at the gym. I started going back, going to the gym the moment I was cleared. So at 7 weeks postpartum, I was cleared just because that's when my appointment was scheduled, between 7 and 8 weeks postpartum. And I started with Pilates. I started with Pilates because my core was very, very like weak, traumatized. It was just not the same, right? So I felt like I couldn't get back to the gym until I had some sort of control of my body, and it starts with your core. So I eased back into working out with Pilates. I went back to using the credits that I had put on hold back before when I found out I was pregnant. And yeah, I completed, I think, 3 sessions before I felt comfortable to go into the gym. This is what a session at Pilates looks like.
Bring it down. Press it up. There you go. So we got a little opposition going. Inhale in, scoop as, roll all the way up. Good. 2 squeezes. 1, 2. Hold. Inhale. Slide. So I make this for 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now inhale, press your legs straight out. Hold it, squeeze. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bend your knees and come in. Hold it. Exhale, squeeze. 4, 5. Inhale, extend the legs out. Good. Squeeze the circle. Press. Exhale, bend the knees. Come in. Hold. Scoop the abs in, lift the side. Squeeze the hands into your hips, extend your legs out long. Give me a squeeze of the circle. Good. Bend the knees, open the arms out to the side. Squeeze the hands in, extend the legs out. 2 squeezes. 1, 2. Open out, bend the knees and come in. Bring it back. 3 squeezes. 1, 2, 3. Then you come back in. Last one. Take it out. Hold, squeeze. Lift the legs up. Scoop the abs. Lower the legs down, but keep the legs up. Lower the legs down. Lift the legs up. Lower the legs down. Last one. Lift those legs up. Lower the legs down. Bend the knees. Bend the elbows. Heads coming down. Keep the legs in tabletop. Extend the arms straight up. Let's do some arm circles to get out of this. You need them? Good. Legs up. Arms open. Out to the side. Squeeze the hands in. Here. Exhale. Using your hamstrings, press that pedal down. Now I only have it on a 2. Oh, not you. It's because you weren't here with me. So you're on a 2, so you might not be. Heels are on. Keep those pedals down. Now they're all the way to the wood. Your arms along by your side. Your abs are scooped up on the body. You're going to give me a nice inhale and lift that back up as a single unit to the tips of your shoulder blades. The pedal stays down, the head stays down, the hips lift up. There you go. Heads down, hips up. Come on, push it down, keep it down. Can you keep the pedal down and lift your right leg to tabletop? Very good. Good. Extend that leg straight up. Lower the leg down. Keep the hips level. Lift the leg back up. Inhale, lower down. The hips stay level. You don't want it to drop. Lift back up. Give me 2 more. Lift up. That stays all the way up, by the way. Tilt pelvis to nose and roll back all the way up. Inhale again. And as you exhale, roll that back all the way down. Inhale again, scoop the abs in, roll the back all the way down. Yeah, that'll allow you to do that.
How many?
5, 4, forward. 5. How are you doing here? Good. Are you straight ahead? Straight ahead. Straight ahead. 3 more. Don't try to sit on the chair in between. I see that cheek. You're even nice inhale. Keep that heel lifted. Press down. Come back up. Now you do not have to press to the wood. I want you to bend that standing knee a little bit. If you press all the way to the wood, chances are you're going to fall over. This is a balance challenge. There we go. How's that feeling? It should feel good. You guys doing all right?
Yep.
You'll have 3 more. I'm doing this. I don't even know what I was doing. Okay. Here we go. See, I need a spring too. Then, ready? Press. And come in. So it's both knees bend. So you're not going forward. You're going straight down and up. Yeah, that's better. Straight down. Then come back up. The arm pushes straight out. Chest. Give me a nice inhale. And as you exhale, press that leg back. Sink, sink, sink into that hip flexor. Sink it, sink it, sink it, sink it, sink it. Good. Inhale, drag. Or better yet, put your hands on the great platform. Oh, like this. All right, open shoulder distance. Then flex the foot on the floor, lift the toes up, straighten that leg, stay low, stay low. Good. Stretch the back of that leg, that's better. Then put the toes down, bend the knees, bring the knee in above the ankle, drag the carriage all the way in. Inhale. One more time.
I actually asked ChatGPT the exercises I should be doing in order to regain core strength and achieve a flat stomach. So these are the exercises that I was doing at the gym.
Great nutrition vibes. Listen to Pineapple Beach Club's official playlist now on Spotify. Pineapple Beach Club. Feel.
And in addition to this, I do a lot of weight training for my legs. Working out legs is my favorite body part to work out, and I was at such a great point before pregnancy. So I want to get back to that. So I do a lot of leg workouts. I do a lot of like hip thrusts and leg press and leg curls and heel rises and just literally everything legs. Like, I make sure I target all of my muscles, if not on one day, throughout the week. So main goal is increase my leg muscles and get them back to where they were prior to pregnancy, and increase my core strength. And I feel like when I do all of that, I am incorporating almost everything, because part of the core workouts and exercises that I do involve push-ups and stuff like that. So I feel like in that comes, my arms and everything else. So that is my fitness goal. Obviously, is to get back to where I was before, and if not better. So I've been doing both since, and Pilates literally is amazing. I've been doing it for so long. I feel like it really, really just works on my core, and I really needed that postpartum. So I am going to the gym full time now. The amount of days I go throughout the week varies depending on my availability. It's just I have a lot going on. I, again, am full time still at work. I am very active in, obviously, Preston's life, dropping him off, picking him up, putting him to bed. It's just been a lot with the sleep training and everything. And so, yeah, there's some days or some weeks where I can only get in 3 days, or some weeks I can get in 4 days. And if I am lucky, I can get in 5 days. So it is what it is. It comes with the territory. And I feel like I'm slowly getting back to like where I was before, as far as my fitness. Slowly, I am not lifting the weight that I was before pregnancy still, but I feel like I've gotten so much better from where I started already. So I'm happy about that. So as you guys know, I don't have any stretch marks. I barely have belly fat. I do have some, which I'm working on, but it's not anything like significant, if I must say. It's just for my own, like, it's just to satisfy me. I feel like I am not where I want to be, and because I want to be where I used to be or better. So we're still working on that. I'm still working on my belly, getting back its normal color, because it did get dark through the pregnancy. And after the pregnancy, I really saw how dark it got when obviously the baby was out. So obviously, you probably know that you get the linea negra, which is the black line across down the belly. And that basically has gone away, but I still feel like my belly button is a little dark. So I'm like, this needs to like resolve quick. But yeah, that's really the only thing that I have going on as far as like physically. But I have also, let me let you guys in on this, because I did mention it before, but I have not yet discussed it. I also began lymphatic drainage and wood therapy massages, and I started them at 8 weeks postpartum. So far, I've only gone through 3 of those sessions, and I purchased a package of 10 sessions. And I must say, I do feel like in those 3 sessions, I did see a difference. And I feel like as I continue to participate in those sessions, or show up for those sessions, I will continue to see a difference. And I'm excited to see the difference it makes in my postpartum fitness journey, especially now that I've incorporated a lot of lifting and weight training, and feel better in my postpartum journey than I did when I first started. So the goal is to continue doing them 1 to 2 times a month until I'm done with the 10 sessions. And let's see where it gets me, and I'll report back to you on that. But yes, I have been doing lymphatic drainage and wood therapy massages. I weight train at the gym, and I do Pilates. That has been part of my postpartum fitness journey. And in addition, I am also in contact with a nutritionist, because I just felt like, even though I have always had somewhat of a healthy habit when it comes to my food, I felt like I needed to know more about what I should be eating in order to get my body to where I wanted to get. So I am in communication with a nutritionist, and I have since then increased my intake of fiber, which I realized I was not consuming enough of. Obviously, protein, we all know that. And the one thing that I feel like she has made a difference in my journey has been putting me onto kombucha. I tried it once in my life before. This is not the first time I hear about it, but I never took interest in making it part of my just eating habit and nutrition and routine. But she has convinced me that I should take and ingest kombucha as opposed to powder probiotics, because she says that the live probiotics has more effects on your body than the processed powder ones. So, and I do agree. She has recommended the GT brand, and that's what I've been consuming lately. And honestly, I love it. Yes, it may have a little bit of a vinegary aftertaste, like every other kombucha, but I feel like I found this brand has enough different variety of flavor that just gets me to keep trying more and more, and I learn to find out which are the ones that I like and which are the ones that I don't like, and then I stick to the ones that I like, obviously. But the peach flavor one is my favorite. I feel like it eliminates a little bit of that vinegary aftertaste. It's still there, but it doesn't bother me at all, actually. So yeah, that is what I've been up to as far as my postpartum fitness journey. And speaking to a nutritionist has made all the difference. And I feel like as long as I remain consistent, I should see the results that I am aiming for. So this is the kombucha I've been taking and drinking. And this is the brand that was recommended by my nutritionist. And this is the flavor that I prefer. Peach Paradise. Try it if you're on that journey. So, last but not least, my most recent struggle, postpartum. It's been hair loss. I have lost so much, like a scary amount of hair. And it happens every time and anytime I draw my fingers through my hair, I draw a comb through my hair, I wash my hair. Anytime I touch my hair, streaks of hair come out, from the root straight. I still don't know how I don't have a bald spot, and I don't know how I still have this amount of hair left in my head, on my head. Because the amount has been insane and very scary, actually. And I feel like it's been stressing me even more that I'm losing this much hair. So I have turned to, and by the way, this is not sponsored at all. I've turned to the postpartum vitamins Nutrafol. Nutrafol. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that one right either. But yeah, this is what I've been taking. I just started this month. I cannot speak on its effectiveness yet, because I did read that you will not start seeing results until like maybe the third month of consumption. So this is what I've been using. I've heard good things. So let's see how good it does. It works for me. But again, this is not sponsored content. Again, I am just sharing, my postpartum journey and what I am using to try to improve this insane hair loss that I've been going through. But there you have it. That is my pregnancy slash labor slash postpartum informational and Q&A. And I hope you guys enjoy your Mother's Day. I am so honored to be a mom. He's my pride and joy. I am like over the moon, happy with him and my life as a mom. And I am wishing the same for you all. I hope you guys enjoy this day, take it in, and sit back and just take in everything that's happening before you, because life is just moving along so fast, and there's nothing better than just being in the moment and just taking in all of these memories and holding on to them, because at the end of the day, that's all we have. Forget about everything else. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time.